A very big reason for guys wanting to go and seek escorts and go and pay for it is because of a poor dating life. And I completely understand why these guys go and do this, right? And I've kind of been there myself, where going out and doing these things give you a sense of intimacy, sense of connection. You feel validated in a way, you feel seen. And these things are only amplified when you're not getting that attention and attraction in your day-to-day life. So I understand why guys go and do this, and this video is to show you things going on deeper beneath the surface and even help guys change this, actually get a better dating life. And it's extremely simple to do, yet people don't want to do it. So let's dive into this video. Before going and seeing an escort, a lot of guys are in this like rejection loop where they get negative results and they dwell on it a little bit. They're like, man, that hurts, you know, this is not what I wanted. And they start to question themselves, right? Like, do I have what it takes to get women? Am I bad with women? Do they just not like me for any of these reasons and any insecurities they might have? And, you know, they start to question it, and then they keep trying, and they get worse and worse results. And they're like, oh yeah, there is something wrong with me, right? And that becomes a belief set that is resented, right? In one way, they see it as true because of all the evidence of it to be true. They've tried, but they've got worse and worse results. And it's extremely painful because it's a deep need and deep desire that they have, but they just can't seem to get it while other people are getting it effortlessly. And you compare yourself to them. It's a whole mess, and it's a very deep-rooted pain point that can lead a guy to go and actually act out with an escort, go and pay for it one way or another. And it's a very big reason as to why guys get into this. And a lot of times these guys are looking for answers, so they go online and, you know, they might get into the red pill space and start to learn about, you know, female nature, and they see like what they actually want, and it kind of destroys a lot of their belief sets and things that they thought were held to be true. It can lead to a couple different outcomes, right? They just believe that they don't have what it takes. They don't believe that they're what women want. They don't fit the certain characteristics that women look for. It's just a very painful existence in a way. Now, I want to mention something that's very important. This is a very simple thing to flip. And before I kind of show you how to actually change all of this, coming from experience, I want to show you a study, because there's a study done with a bunch of women. They were told that they're going to have a bunch of makeup, a bunch of like cosmetics to show facial disfigurements, to show scars and stuff like that. And then they go out for the day and come back and report back as to, you know, what their experience was like. And, you know, they showed the women what they looked like with all the facial disfigurements. It looked, you know, very realistic. And then right before they're about to leave, one of the cosmetic directors is like, hey, come back here, I just want to make a couple different tweaks to your kind of the makeup going on here. They take it all off. The women don't know this. They think it's getting touched up, they think it's getting fixed and making it look better, and then they send them on their way to just go out and see what people think. They go to job interviews and stuff like that. And at the job interviews, a lot of these women found that they were getting like told a lot of negative comments. So it's kind of snarky, kind of low-key, kind of jabs, and they felt like they were being disrespected, and they didn't land the roles because of the way that they looked. And they reported back to the people after the job interview, and they said a bunch of remarks that was commenting about the scars. They felt like they're being discriminated against, and the thing is, they never had anything on their face. And the conclusion from this study was to show and to prove that whatever you believe to be true, you're going to see more of. And this is where a lot of guys go wrong, because they have so much evidence of them not being worthy, of them not being good enough, of them not being attractive enough, whatever the case is in their dating life, and they have all this evidence, they believe it to be true. But the thing is, it doesn't serve them. When they have this belief set, it only manifests negative results. It doesn't matter if they go to a dating coach and learn a bunch of game or a bunch of things that are going on. It doesn't matter what they try to do. If they hold that belief set, nothing is going to change, and it's only going to get worse. It's like this catch-22, because you have this belief set because of so much evidence, but then if you need to change this, like change this belief set, it's hard for you because you have all this evidence. But the thing that I want to point out is, if you resonate with everything that I'm talking about so far, you know in your heart of hearts that this outcome is not what you want. You've probably tried many different things, maybe even invested in many different things to try to change this outcome. But the reason why it hasn't worked is because of your belief sets. And all you have to do is start to change that belief set to make you feel worthy, to make you feel valuable. And when that starts to happen, then the results are going to change. You don't just magically get better results and then your belief sets change. It starts with the belief sets first. And what you need to do to change this is to show yourself why these old beliefs of you not being good enough, or you not being attractive enough, or being held up to the standard of women, show yourself why that's not true, and show the opportunity to yourself that you actually have, and give yourself hope. When you start to do that, you're going to actually have a baseline to go and actually change your beliefs. And this is not a one-time thing, unfortunately. You just don't do this once and then move on with life. You have to constantly monitor your beliefs, constantly check yourself if you're thinking thoughts outside of that belief set. It's tough, it's difficult, and it's pretty hard to do on your own. But if you allow yourself to do this and go through this process, you're going to actually start to develop better beliefs that serve you and will give you better results within your dating life. This is the exact thing that I did to go through this whole process, go from thinking that I always fumbled every opportunity that I ever had to actually, doing fine with my dating life. And the only reason for that was because I had to change those belief sets. And it's, again, a simple fix. It's just very hard to do. You have to change your identity. Your identity is something that needs to change. Your self-image is something that needs to change. It doesn't matter what you learn. It doesn't matter what you say in an interaction with the woman. If you don't believe in your heart of hearts that you deserve it, that you're worthy, that you're good enough, you will self-destruct. You might be hearing this and you have a lot of resistance to some of the things that I'm talking about, and I get it, because there's an identity that's been built that you're not good enough and that you're below the standard of what it takes to actually see success. I understand that hearing these things are going to go against a lot of the rationalizations that you have that are leading you to go and act out and get the only solution that you perceive to be true. I fully understand that. It's going to be a paradigm shift, and for a period of time, you're not going to know what to think. You're going to have cognitive dissonance as to what your identity is, what is actually true, and it's a tough process, man. But just know that you're not alone in doing this. There's people that have been in your shoes and changed their lives despite some of these negative belief sets that they've had, and they've seen great results. I've worked with many of these guys who thought that, getting a relationship or getting intimacy was impossible. But as they got clean, as they removed lust from their life and actually worked on their limiting belief sets, they were actually able to support a lifestyle that deserved it. So, quick video, just wanted to kind of highlight that and show you something that I've been seeing a lot of recently, and just kind of share my thoughts on it. I hope this was helpful for you guys, and share your opinion down below. I'm sure there's going to be some people that disagree with me and have a lot of other rationalizations. So if you believe that I'm wrong, tell me in the comments, and I'll kind of share some of my thoughts. So with that said, we'll see you guys in the next one.